Skinner deep. Moore, the rookie, 89. Ginn will be 33.
First series is going to be a big one, I think, Curt. These guys, they've got to do something when they get that ball, or Oakland will really get them going.
Winkle will kick off. Ray Guy normally would kick off, but he has a tender left knee. He kicks the ball off on an angle from the tee. It's a short kick, and it is handled by Matt Moore, coming out to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. He's up to the 40. He's at the 50. Matt Moore is on the way, and he has run the opening kickoff back for a touchdown.
What a ball game is it? I said it's going to be important. I didn't mean to be that important.
It was a short series, I'll tell you.
Short series, one run exceptionally well.
89 yards for Matt Moore, who has been an amazing rookie this year. Nick Bonaconti said he ought to be the most valuable player on the Miami team.
Bob Hudson tries to break the wedge. Number 89 is about to go 89 yards. You're right. They say he's, as far as they're concerned, as the rookie of the year, he's done everything you've ever asked. Just super effort.
You know, the Dolphins have stunned the Raider crowd here in the Coliseum. Your premium check is up, and it is 7-0 with 15 seconds gone.
You started off, this is Hudson, and usually is the guy that's very instrumental in these kicks. He just got wiped out. They've had 3 guys on him. Obviously, the Miami coaches have been looking at some of those kicking films. 1/3 of the whole contest is wrapped up in these special teams, and these guys have been doing a good job all year long. You mentioned, too, Curt, before he kicked off, this is not the regular kicker. The kick was short. It was high, enabled him to set up a good wedge, and Coach John Madden right now is saying, wait a minute. Now, what is happening?
Well, the Dolphins chose a good time to run their first kickoff back for a touchdown this year. And now, your Premier will be kicking off. And dropping back are Harold Hart, 34, and Ron Smith, 27 for the Raiders. The Dolphins have that early score that they always like to get, and then eat the ball and the clock on you. Here's the kick. It's coming to the rookie Harold Hart on the 11-yard line. He's out to the 20, 25, 30. Still going, and then it's piled up on his 31-yard line. Don Nottingham is downfield. Remember that kickoff also? Bruce Bannon, number 58. All right, let's set the Raiders up now. First down on their own 31. Sabers at quarterback. There's the offensive line. Shell at left tackle. He'll be 78. Upshot, left guard, 63. Old double hot Jim Otto at center. George Beeler, 64 to right guard. John Bella, recovering from an injury, starting at right tackle. Clarence Davis, 28. Marv Hubbard, 44, the running back behind Davis. Davis squirting out to the 35-yard line of Oakland. A 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Bob Matheson on the tackle for the Dolphins. He leads the Dolphins in tackles this year. He was aided by Nick Bonaconti. The wide receivers, Cliff Branch. 13 touchdowns this year, the most of any wide receiver in the National Football League. Over the other side, Fred Biletnikoff, number 25. They scored 20 touchdowns between them. Branch 13, Biletnikoff 7. They gained over 1,700 yards between them. This is Hubbard. Hubbard banging to the 39 of Oakland. Manny Fernandez rode him down. Up front for the Dolphins. Right now with a 4-man down line, Van Herder, the left end, 83. Manny Fernandez, the left tackle, 75. Bob Hines, 72, the right tackle. The All-Pro, Bill Stansfield, 84 right in. Backing them, Matheson, 83. Bonaconti, 85. Mike Kohler, 57. Doug Swift out of this game, of course, with a broken arm that he incurred November 3rd, or he'd be starting.
Not a bad gambling situation. He probably wouldn't gamble, but not a bad opportunity to go deep.
3rd and 2. And they may have that first down. Marv Hubbard carrying the ball.
The only reason that, Al, I think he would stick to the ground right now is that if they didn't hit it big, then they've given the ball right back to Miami. What they've got to do is establish something today. You don't anticipate anybody run your opening kickoff back, and when they do, these guys have done it before. They've been down before, so I was not too surprised to see him go for that first down.
Oakland's usually a slow starter. The second quarter has been their best scoring period. Miami's best periods have been their second and fourth period. First down, the Raiders on their 42-yard line. Hubbard, and he is jammed up. He got a yard, and that's all. He was slowed down by Fernandez, and then Herder and Bonaconte pounced on him. The telecast presented by authority of the Oakland Football Club is intended for the private use of our audience. Any broadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Oakland Club and the National Football League is prohibited. Larry Ball comes in the 53 defense now. The tackle Hines goes out. That means 4 linebackers and 3 linemen.
We're going to be talking about this 1st and 10 situation, the most important play in football. Get them in 2nd and long, and that's where they're in now.
2nd down 8 for the Raiders. Sabres' first pass coming up. He shoots it out.
Look there.
By Dick Anderson at the 30, 35, 40, 45, and he's up to the 48. An 18-yard return for Dick Anderson. Marv Hubbard tackled him, and that time Sabres threw in the tremendous coverage. They had the receiver well covered.
Well, there's no doubt that right now the Oakland Raiders are up against it. They're coming to a much defense. The ball you'll see tipped, deflected. The ever-present Dick Anderson makes a fine interception.
And we have a timeout here at the Oakland Coliseum. Miami scored on the opening kickoff. They lead 7-0. Championship next Sunday against either the Redskins or the Rams. 30-14 Minnesota. First down Miami on their 48-yard line. This will be the first play from scrimmage for the world champion Dolphins. Saka has the ball to the 50 and rumbles into the Oakland territory at the Oakland 49 where Horace Jones brought him down. A flag has been dropped.
It wasn't a big surprise to me to see that their first offensive play went to number 39 because that's the guy they're going to. I see that he has just left the field, Zonka. One of the things, what is it?
That's illegal use of the hands on Skip Thomas, number 26. 15-yarder.
As a lot of people know, Zonka has been having an ankle problem, a foot problem all year. You may not be aware he also has a sore shoulder, so we were told before the game the shoulder actually is giving him more trouble than the ankle. What was that penalty? I missed it, guys.
That was illegal use of the hands, Don, on Skip Thomas.
So that gives him a first down, right?
Right. First down on the Oakland 34. The Dolphins in command right now. They're leading 7-0. Kenny Malone is a lone setback. Nottingham's in. He's a slot back. Moore and Warfield are the wide receivers. Greasy to Malone. The rookie is hung up there at the 34-yard line by Villapiano and Connors, the linebackers who jammed him. The offensive line for Miami will be Wayne Moore, returned to action 3 weeks ago after February surgery. He'll be 79. Kuchenberg, the left guard, 67. Langer, the center, 62. Larry Little, the right guard, 66. And Norm Evans, the right tackle, 73. Croft is back in the game.
We know they're going to be double covering on Paul Warfield, but keep in mind, again, the rookie, number 89, Nat Moore. He's got brilliant speed and excellent moves.
All right, Jimmy Warren comes out, and Bubba Smith. There's Warfield. And now Grease is talking to the referee about something. Bonnie Johnson goes into the 4th linebacker. Salka is hit at the 33-yard line.
They're playing soft, man. They're really getting after it.
Otis Sistrunk made the lead tackle on him. Here's Jim Mandich coming in. Mandich was injured in a freak golf cart accident this last week. Banged his knee up against the tree. He was doubtful today. Kick comes in. Now this is the better receiving back in the backfield and the best receiving tight end. And Jimmy Warren comes in as a 5th secondary back for the Oakland Raiders. 3rd and 9, and the Raiders know they've got to stop the Dolphins right now. They fall behind big early. 3rd and 9, Miami leading 7-0. First 5 minutes of the game. They ran the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Rookie Matt Moore, 89 yards. No offside. And now, wait a minute, the flag was dropped from the near side. No flag on the far side.
That could have been a delay of the game there.
It was
a
a legal delay of the game
to get that thing off.
Just a comment. Bob Greasy is complaining about the fact that the defense of the Oakland Raiders is holding a couple of players on and what they're doing is releasing and then at the last moment letting them come off the field. Paul Warfield double covered.
He's used to that. He's averaged 21 years a catch in 11 years. 21 yards a catch. 11 years. Now, Shula's unhappy with the official.
I didn't know that was illegal. Are you not supposed to do that? Is there a rule against doing that? We'll go into that. Find somebody who knows something about the rules.
14 to go for Miami. A deep drop by Greasy.
He's got him wide open.
Deep, and it is just off the fingertips of Warfield. A near touchdown for the Miami Dolphins. Even though Warfield was double teamed, he got his hands on the ball between Jack Tatum and Nehemiah Wilson.
I said a little prematurely that he was wide open. When I looked at the pattern being run, it appeared to me that Warfield had split the two defenders, and had Greasy thrown it a little bit further, I think he could have gone on into the end zone again. If it was, he came back a little bit, and it turned out to be pretty well covered. Based, I think, on not a real good throw.
Harry Seipel in punt formation. Ron Smith will be deep. He's averaged 11.5 yards of return this year. They'll try and hang it up in the far corner, and it is out of bounds, and the Raiders are pinned with poor field position. But they should have received a lift when they stopped the Dolphins. First down on their own 34. Right now there's a timeout. Miami 7, Oakland nothing. And huddle, and the extra player would come off the field quickly, leaving 11 men at the snap of the ball. That's Clarence Davis running it out from his 13 to his 17-yard line. He's hit there by Mike Colin, the right linebacker of the Dolphins, and now the sun is trying to peek through. The lights have been turned on here at the Oakland Coliseum.
Whenever you play the Miami Dolphins, the man that you've got to get to is that middle linebacker, Nick Bonaconte. And the Oakland Raiders will be trying in some way to cut off this man from Notre Dame.
9:15 remaining in the first period. Miami ahead 7-0. Gaping hole. First down for Marv Hubbard. Hubbard tackled by Curtis Johnson. What a hole he has. So the Raiders bring it out for a first down. They get some operating room now on their own 25-yard line. Gowdy and Curtis Johnson making a stop on the play for the Dolphins. Sabres throwing just one pass. He leads the entire National Football League in touchdown passes this year with 26. Name of second to him with 20. Two very accurate passes here today, Stabler and Greasy. Hubbard again, jammed up by Stanfield. Bill Stanfield and Mike Colin.
I think that was the situation, Curt, where he had a play called on a quick count. And when he got up to the line of scrimmage, it's much more difficult to change or audible a play at line of scrimmage when you have a quick count. That was run right into the strength of that defense. Had very little chance of going.
Miami now has a 51 defense in. That's the new name for it. Larry Balls, number 51, is the fourth linebacker. That role was played in a pass by number 53, Bob Matheson. Hines goes out, 3 down rushers, 4 linebackers. They really popularized this 3-4. Davis going in motion. 2nd and 10. Stabler is going deep to the Speedster branch. Deep. He's...
Cliff, baby, hit you in the wrong spot.
They've connected. They've had the open connection 4 times, over 60 yards for touchdowns this year. Trent can run right by a deep zone.
This is Curtis Johnson, number 45, that's there with him. I thought he was pretty well covered, but you see the ball was right on target, just over Johnson's head. Should have been caught.
You know, we saw briefly Clarence Davis move into a set position to the top of your screen. That left Fred Biletnikoff in the middle. It looks like in the same situation, they can hit Biletnikoff short to the inside.
All right, Jake Scott's out. Charlie Paps replaced him. Sideline pass. Biletnikoff has the ball, spins away, and has a first down. You get it to him. I've only seen him drop 1 pass. That was against Miami last year.
He hesitated a little bit. The ball was thrown right on target. Quick low dive up the middle there. Pick up about a 1.
Bob Matheson burrowed underneath him, tackling Marv Hubbard. The Raiders started this drive, 10 back to their 13. Right now, the ball resting on their 42. 2nd down, 8. Miami ahead, 7-0. And we'll keep repeating as those sets click on across America. Nat Moore ran the opening kickoff back, 89 yards for a Miami touchdown. Charlie Smith, 23, has replaced Clarence Davis as a running back to team up with Hubbard now in the Oakland backfield. 2nd down, 8 for the Raiders. Saber had a big rush on him by number 75, Fernandez, and Vern Den Herder. Fernandez has a tender shoulder. He's been nagged most of the season with injuries. A lot of the Dolphins have. Sonka, Mercury Morris with a trick knee. Fernandez.
The one thing that we've been missing this year is the use of the screen pass. It looked like there was a screen possibility to this side, which would be the bottom of your screen, but most teams, rather than going to that, even in this kind of a passing situation, often have gone to the draw, straight up.
3rd and 8. Sabres 1 out of 4 so far. Good protection. It's to Branch. Branch is met hard and is short of a first down as he's dumped on the Oakland 49-yard line by Charlie Bass. We'll try and get a report on Jake Scott. I don't know whether he's injured, but he was taken out 2 plays ago and replaced by Bass. That could hurt Miami. And so, Scott, one of the best punt returners in the game, has now been replaced in the safety spot by the rookie Nat Moore, who also is excellent running back punt. The leading punter in the National Football League, Ray Guy, has averaged a shade over 42 yards of punts this year in his 2nd year. Nat Moore waiting. Nice kick, soaring. Moore lets it go, and it is into the end zone for a touchback. Miami's ball, first down on the Miami 20. We have 5:25 remaining in the first period. Miami 7, Oakland nothing. On the right leg of Jake Scott over the Miami bench. Oakland has run off 13 plays from scrimmage to just 3 for Miami, yet Miami's ahead 7-0. Sonka, Benny Malone behind Bob Greasy. Sonka. And the big guy's brought down on his 25-yard line. And the old Sonka story, 2nd and 5.
You're right, and it's an old story. And as we said at the top of the show, if you don't stop number 39, you don't beat the Miami Dolphins. They're running, as they often do, weak extremely well. They may be running at the smaller, quicker man, Horace Jones, rather than Bubba.
Now that's good. That's true. They put both wide receivers left. Warfield is a slot. Moore flanked outside of him. 2nd down, 5 for Miami. Benny Malone, first down for him as he darts out to the 33 of Miami. He was brought down by the strong safety Jack Tatum, probably the hardest hitting safety in football.
You know, when you look at these two teams, and we mentioned Bubba, Don, and
Bubba is tall, as everybody knows, as you can see right there. One of his weaknesses, supposedly, is they try to trap him to the inside. You see, they got Larry Little, and Larry Little, being a $110,000 a year offensive guard, should do a pretty good job on Bubba. They went inside him that time. The trap was not a devastating trap, but it did give him a hole there.
Miami leading 7-0. First down in their 33. Sonka. Look at him go. He plows to the 38-yard line. Another 5-yard gain for Sonka, who hurt his left ankle October 27th against Baltimore in the Orange Bowl. Finally, a month after the injury, he was treated by acupuncture. Then 2 weeks ago, he hurt his shoulder. He might have the lowest rushing average of his career, 3.8 yards, but he overcame that pain often enough to score 9 touchdowns. Nottingham has 8 touchdowns as his reserve. 2nd down, 5. Miami on their 38, they're out in front, 7-0, late in the first period. Sonka, still, although he's hit by Villapiano, who's mad at himself for not bringing him down behind the line of scrimmage. Sonka rumbles to the 41, a 3-yard gain, and it's 3rd and 2 for the Dolphins.
Ben Malone is not only a good runner, but Carl Tassif says he's an excellent blocker. Do you have any idea how much Bubba outweighs that man? He just chops him down.
Yeah, but one of the things, that was like, it gave Bubba a false look at a trap. He was looking at Larry Little coming from the inside, so Bubba's going to close. Malone comes, and he just knocks him in. The play's designed to bounce outside.
They have both tight ends in now. 3rd down, about 1.5 yards to go for the Dolphins, just over their own 40-yard line. Look at that Malone. He has the first down. The Dolphins would not be in this playoff this year, even with the excellence of their material, if it had not been for an outstanding draft for a Super Bowl champion. Benny Malone, Matt Moore. They got a fine young receiver named Melvin Baker. They like a couple of young defensive linemen, Don Reese and Randy Crowder. For a team that drafted last, they did all right for themselves. Miami's ball on their own 46. They're ahead 7-0. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. First down. Greasy's pass. Wide open out there is Moore. They gave him ground, and he stays in bounds. He has a first down in Oakland territory. That's what Greasy does. Very patient and just sort of picks you up, slowly moves down the field.
Well, you know, when he's got you going, particularly, Don and I were talking about both of these quarterbacks. They're virtuoso performers. They move the ball extremely well. He's been running first and 10, and then he hits you with a pass. Excellent. When you got it going for you, Don, you keep it going.
You're hot, you're hot. He really got him that time, man for man. He put him out there in a double slot. Nehemiah Wilson gave him way too much room. He was off of him 10 or 12 yards, and so Greasy says, I'll take it, man. I don't care how I get it first.
Nehemiah Wilson playing in place of the ailing Willie Brown today. Sonka over the 35 to the Oakland 33. Again, a 5-yard gain for Sonka. And again, a second down 5 for the Miami Dolphins.
We're keeping track of the 1st and 10 situations, and later in the game, we'll talk about where that stands. But these two defenses are really not that different. Dan Connors means as much to the Oakland Raider defense as Nick Buonantony means to the, and here's Dan right now. Let's take a look at it. They're going to try to barrel Dan out of it. You see a double team on Bubba Smith. It's almost impossible to get through.
Good job by Bubba. Don't plan those two guys off.
Miami on the Oakland 33-yard line in the last minute of play of the first period, and moving is Kuchenberg 67. A legal procedure against Kuchenberg.
You know, Curt, Don's comment before about the way Nehemiah Wilson is playing Paul Warfield, if he keeps doing it, Don, he's going to have a very bad afternoon. There's no way you're going to cover Paul giving him the kind of room that he's getting now.
The thing you love to do from a quarterback standpoint, you love to find one defensive back that's afraid of your receiver. No matter where he is, but if you got one that's afraid of him, then he's not going to play his game. The defensive back is not. Now, you find that out early, throw it back in your head, you'll keep coming back to it all during the game.
Well, they had that 12-man huddle, and then 2 men come off the field. Monty Johnson goes in.
This way, Danny.
Jimmy was there's a hard hit on the long by Art Tom, the right tackle. That puts the ball on the 37-yard line of Oakland. That makes them 3rd down and 9 to go for the Dolphins. We're in the last 15 seconds. Now, look at this Oakland huddle. 12 men are in the huddle. 12 men.
And Sheila still doesn't like it, does he?
Right.
He said, no, what is this stuff?
Jimmy Ward may be coming out. He's number 20.
We saw the Vikings doing that with 14 men the other day.
That's the end of the first period. The score, the Miami Dolphins 7, the Oakland Raiders nothing. National Football League. Curt Gowdy, DeRogatis, Don Meredith with you here from the Oakland Coliseum as we begin the second quarter. Miami ahead 7-0. Matt Moore, the rookie, returned the opening kickoff 89 yards for a touchdown. Miami has 53 yards total offense. Oakland 49. Soft is the leading ball carrier with 23 yards. Hubbard has 18 for Oakland. Now it's 3rd and 9. Dolphins ball on the Oakland 37. They spread out in front of Greasy. And out it goes, and it's batted away.
Good play. Good defensive play by
Paul Warfield. He had it covered that time, Don.
You bet he did. That was right on the money, too. That was a well-thrown ball. There's just nothing you can do about that one. They have a 3rd and 10 situation.
Let's talk about that 12-man huddle. It seems to be creating some controversy down in the field. 12 men are huddling on defense for Oakland. Then one comes off the field when the Dolphins break out of the huddle. Why, Don?
Well, obviously they're trying to disguise what kind of defense they're going to have. There's a lot of defensive changes, more and more each year. If you can eliminate the time the offense has to react to how many men or what setup you have, the offensive people feel like that's just an advantage for them. Could be a good kick, but a little bit, missed it just a little bit. Basically, Curt, it's just to disguise what kind of defense you're going to do. And they keep 12, maybe 13. I think, Al, you mentioned Minnesota had 14 guys out there.
That's twice. Oakland Oakland has stopped Miami within their 40-yard line. Now tomorrow, at 1 o'clock Eastern time on NBC, you'll see the wild card team, the Buffalo Bills, with Rashad, J.D. Hill, and O.J. Ferguson, meet the Central Division champs, the king of the takeaways, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their magnificent defense. It'll be on NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. All year round. Hubbard and Clarence Davis behind Stabler. That's Hubbard trying to cut back. And he got 4 yards, a couple of more than at first it looked like he would get when Den Herder and Bonacani set him down.
One of the great strengths of the Oakland Raiders is their offensive line. Manny Fernandez had a difficult year, but he's making a good play here. Fighting extremely well, moving to the hole, and eventually helping out on the tackle.
These are basically running teams. The Dolphins run even more than the Raiders. The Raiders rushed about 3 out of every 5 plays this year. The Dolphins rushed almost 2 out of every 3 plays this year. 2nd and 6 for Oakland on their own 24. That's Davis. He found a free fall, and then it was closed up by Vern Den Herder and Manny Fernandez. Funny thing about Den Herder, he played for Central Iowa. He has a Dutch name, and the nickname, the athletic nickname of that Central Iowa college, the Flying Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman.
You know, a good battle also to watch is that between Art Shell, an outstanding offensive tackle, and number 84, Bill Stanfield. Bill's had a good year, and he's a tough defensive end.
3rd and 3. Litnikoff spread right, Branch left. Stabler. Ball slipped out of his hand. It's an incomplete pass, sort of hooked out of it. And right now, Oakland has not been able to execute any kind of a passing game.
That did not show a whole lot right there. He obviously was in a not a definite passing situation. That's where you got when you talk about the draws and screens a while ago, Al. That's a good place to run those.
Right.
You know, you count on a draw maybe up to 5 or 6 yards, but you run an 8 and 10, you're really running a risk. But that was a good time. He just he saw somebody open, a little bit nervous, pulled it down. That was almost a lateral. That could have really cost him if somebody had jumped on that thing out there.
Great guy in punt formation. His first kick was good for 51 yards. Nat Moore deep. He sort of shanked that one off the side. Anderson. He may have been interfered with. He was trying to catch the ball. And Lloyd Mumford, trying to block for him there, fell on the ball. That's Hart. Ray Hart ran into Dick Anderson as he was trying to field the ball. A short punt of 33 yards. Here's the signal from the officials. That's interference. Trying to grab a punt was Anderson. He was interfered with.
It was an obvious penalty. Harold Hart, inexperience showed there. Now, excellent field position for the Miami Dolphins. And right now, it's going to get interesting for the man in the middle, Dan Connors. They're going to be attacking.
Miami puts the ball in play on the Oakland 44-yard line.
I'm going to pull a DeRogatis, and I'm going to tell you, this is the time I'd throw that thing in the air.
Now, before they throw, we have a timeout. Miami 7, Oakland nothing. Reached the other's quarterback during the year. Raiders had 36 sacks. Miami had 31. The Steelers led everybody in tackling the passer in the National Football League. First down, Miami on the 44. They run Saka on that counter. Reese spreads left, and then behind his back to Saka going up the middle.
Well,
Gerald Irons, the right linebacker, and Art Tom team for the tackle.
You know, as you look at that, Miami has that pattern, Don, of trying to take charge. And as their running attack, I guess they figure if they can control this team, they keep the ball from the Snakes. And he wants to do that, and obviously the man is number 39. We're going to see a lot of him.
They just put the 4th linebacker in, Monty Johnson, and took Bubba Smith out. Second down, 8, Miami on the Oakland 42. Miami ahead, 7-0. Greasy under the gun, and they get to him. There's the first sack of the game. And then on him, Otis Sistrunk.
This was almost anticipated. They gave him a big rush from the outside. You see Monty Johnson coming up the middle, Otis Sistrunk. Otis and Art Tom have done a whale of a job all year for the Oakland Raiders.
They all got in there that time. You know, there was not one breakdown that time. They all just kind of got their feet in those starting blocks and headed back in. He had a couple of guys open downfield, but didn't have time to see them.
Now we have a 3rd and 16 for Miami.
Big play for Oakland that time.
Anditch is in at tight end. Jim Kick is a running back, but he's a premier receiver for a back. Greasy a deep retreat, scrambling away, looking, and he's out of bounds. He's out of bounds on the Oakland 47. It'll be 4th down and 13 to go. And the Dolphins will be in a punt formation. Larry Seipel's come on. 3 times now. The last 3 times, Miami's had the ball in Oakland territory. Unusual. Miami usually are killers when they get inside your 40 and move on in on you. But the Raiders have held them.
I think that's a good indication of the overall strength of the Oakland team. It's very disheartening to have the opening kickoff run back against you. And up until this time, Miami is at fairly good field position, but has not put any point on the board except for the opening kickoff.
Seipel will kick to Ron Smith. High snap. Gets it away. Smith on his 14. Up to the 20. Dancing around. And the waltz ends at his 22-yard line when Henry Stuckey, number 48, went down to nail him. A 33-yard punt and an 8-yard return. We have a timeout on the Oakland Coliseum. It's still Miami 7, Oakland nothing. 6th in the game for just 23 yards. First down, Oakland from their 22. A play action. Saber shoots the ball, completes it to Biletnikoff, and he's knocked down immediately. Ran backwards. May not have the first down. Bob Matheson drove him to the turf. The second pass, Biletnikoff. That's grabbed today.
Al and I were just talking the last time out the fact that Oakland has not done well running the ball on first down. That was a first down situation, and the old snake came out throwing. He had Biletnikoff. He had a first down, and as oftentimes happens, he comes back, and I think he did not get it. He had it at one time, but he's also broken them a lot of times by doing it that same way, so you can't really penalize him too much.
You know, Don, he had a wide open route there to his left, but he has 5 or 6 bone chips in his left knee. Puffed up on him this year. They might have to go in there and clean them out after the season. But he doesn't take off the way he used to.
You know, the other thing I noticed, he hasn't been going to his back that much. Clarence Davis was wide open on that play. Hubbard was hitting up the middle. Clarence came to this side and was wide open for a little dunk.
Second down, an inch to go. The Raiders on their 32. They're trailing 7-0. First down, Marv Hubbard pulls it out to the 35, where he runs into Bonacani and Stansville.
Short yardage situation, and they're kind of expected to give it to this bread and butter guy. You see Davis leading him in there. It's just a power play. Then Herter's in there. Foley comes up, but you've got Hubbard picking up really a good first down. They needed that one. They were back on their 20, so now they've got them a good first down, a little more breathing room. I expect them to start throwing more.
Well, the statisticians officially will place that on the 36, even though it's closer to the 35. Play action pass again. There it is. Look out. And he hits his back, Hubbard. Hubbard getting away. Goes down on his 45. He's a yard short. Bob Matheson knocks him down. They say Marv Hubbard has a poor pair of hands catching the ball. He grabbed it that time.
Well, I remember 3 or 4 years ago, Miami's first trip to the Super Bowl when they lost to Dallas. Dallas actually beat Miami on an awful lot of influence plays. They'd start over to one side, they'd come back and catch them again. There was an awful lot of movement out of the linebackers because they're basically fairly, small as linebackers go. They'd try to pursue. So you see a play start one way, as that one did, then come back a little drop pass over the middle to Hubbard. That thing could break open.
Second down, a yard to go. Oakland on his 45. Davis, first down, 50, 45, 40, and it's brought down on the Miami 36. Clarence Davis squirting through. Curtis Johnson tackled Davis. Davis has the best rushing average this year, a little over 4 yards a carry from USC.
We're going to see Hubbard leading up in here. We saw the Green Bay Packers use this so often under the great Vince Lombardi. Art Shell making a fine block there. This almost breaks away. Just about pulls it out.
Good analogy, but it really wasn't Vince Lombardi or Green Bay that invented that play. They've been running that one for a long time. They just happened to do it real well.
Now the sun is coming out. As the Raider fans brighten up, their team's on the move. They come from their 22 to the Miami 36. Miami ahead 7-0. Davis again. Plenty of trouble for him at the Miami 34-yard line. And on him, number 83, Den Herder and Fernandez. Hubbard is coming out. Pete Banaszak goes in. Hubbard gets a hand from the Oakland fans.
With this substitution, it brings up the fact that a lot of teams are going to multiple backs in that they don't go with 1 and 2 backs. And the reason they say is because the defensive people are getting so much bigger, the backs are more susceptible. So the Oakland Raiders alternate 4 backs. Banaszak, Smith, Davis, and Hubbard.
Second down, 8. Raiders on the Dolphins 34. Banaszak. He's piled up on the 31 of Miami by Bill Stanfill. He turned him in, and coming up to help was Larry Ball, a linebacker.
Also, we have to keep in mind, as we look at a Pete Banaszak in that backfield, is that he is a man that can make the big play, and he's an exceptional receiver. He and Jim Kick, very much alike.
One score in this game, and it came in the first 15 seconds, when rookie Nat Moore out of Florida University grabbed the opening kickoff on his 11-yard line and raced 89 yards for a touchdown. Miami ahead, 7-0, 7:49 to go in the half. 3rd and 5, Oakland on the Miami 31. Plenty of time. There it goes deep to Smith. Touchdown! Charlie Smith.
All right. This crowd has gone crazy. Look at those blacks. The black handkerchiefs wave here in Oakland. The black hankies go.
There are the black socks.
I don't know whether we pointed this out, but that was Smith that made the reception. He came in right at the very last minute after Oakland was already in the huddle, which again points out that occasionally these coaches that we gave you a shout-out a while ago, they may see something. That time Smith took it. He had him beat pretty good.
That reminds me of the old Heidi game when he circled out of the backfield.
There you go.
And the pitch is good. We got a tie game. Kenny Stabler connecting 31 yards to Charlie Smith. Timeout. It is now Miami 7, Oakland 7. All right, here's the kickoff. It is coming to Hubert Ginn on his 14. He's to the 20, out to the 30. He brought it out to his 36-yard line where he's upset by rookie Mike Jennery of Southern Mississippi. Now, while the Dolphins go to the attack, I want to remind you that next Sunday, the winner of this Miami-Oakland game will meet tomorrow's playoff victor between Buffalo and Pittsburgh at 4 o'clock Eastern Time to decide who will represent the American Football Conference in the Super Bowl. Following that game, the NFL report with Jim Ryan. First down, Miami on his 36-yard line. Kenny Malone and Stalker, the running back. Nat Moore going in motion. Malone.
Good hole up the middle there.
He had a hole. Jack Tatum and George Atkinson, the two safety men, nailed him. Looks like a first down. Maybe.
All right, it's just not anything fancy again, but they slided Malone offside, so he'd be following Larry Little, the right guard, and Norm Evans, the tackle. But that thing could have broken in. It did break into the secondary when they sent the men in motion. Looks like Malone may have been hurt a little bit on that.
All right, Jim Kick replaced him. Miami's averaged 8 yards every first down play. Oakland 3 yards at first down play. First down for the Dolphins. That's Tonka, 50. And he's to the Oakland 46-yard line. Miami again in Oakland territory. That play, good for 6. The tackle by Villapiano and Bubba Smith. The second down 4 for the Dolphins.
The time to stop for a good football team is when that good football team has just been scored on. The Dolphins have been scored on, and they want to take it right back. Big first down play, second and short.
Warfield, the only man out wide right now. He's to the left. Second down 4. Get the stopper behind Greasy. Kick. Couple of yards. 44-yard line of Oakland. Gerald Aarons reached him, the right linebacker. Right now we pause briefly for identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is Channel 11, WBAL-TV in Baltimore.
Something that Don Meredith might note, Bob Greasy is an artist at drawing a team offside with a long count, changing the cadence of his voice. The Raiders, before the game, warned the officials that Greasy cannot move his head or pop his head or jerk it around. Listen to the call now. First down for Sonka and the Dolphins to the Oakland 35. Dick Sonka, running like the Sonka of last year.
Right, Curt. We talk about offensive lines. Well, both of these teams have great offensive lines. Norman Evans on that side. You don't hear much about Norm, but he does a fantastic job. Larry Little is there with him. The lead back, also an excellent blocker.
Well, just meat and potatoes right now. Hubbard knows about that. The Dolphins staying on the ground have taken the ball from their 36 to the Oakland 35. The game is tied 7-all. 4:40 to go in the first half. As advertised. Sonka stumbled behind the line of scrimmage, has slowed his momentum up, but he still gained some ground as he went down on the Oakland 32-yard line to pick up a 3 of second down 7. Right on top of him, Horace Jones to right in.
I think you can go right back as far as you want to go, and you'll find that championship teams play championship ball and championship games, and we're seeing, I think, a good example of that by both teams today. They're really out there playing good football.
Ready for Litnikoff. Flat left. Second down 7. 4 in motion now. That's Malone. And he's piled up at the 29-yard line of the Raiders. Miami, twice in the first period, had a first down on the Oakland 34, a first down on the Oakland 38. In the second period, had a first down on the Oakland 44, but couldn't do anything.
The center is so often spoken of, but look at this block. One-on-one. Jim Langer on Art Tom. Third down, Curt. I'll tell you who should be interested right now. It's Nehemiah Wilson. I'd hate to be covering Paul Warfield.
It's 3rd and 4. Mandich is in, a tight end. Jim Kick is in as a back. Now the sun breaks through the fog. Game tied 7-7. On 3rd and 4, Greasy backpedaling, shoots it out, completes it to Kick for a first down. Kick dumped immediately by the veteran Dan Connors, who is from the University of Miami of Florida.
Don't want to call Connors' tackle lucky, but he did go for the ball. You see Kick coming out of the backfield on a little short turn-in route. Connors 55 is coming in there. He tries to knock the ball down, misses, and as you see him fall, does a little leg whip there and cuts him down. Kick could have gotten back in the middle of that secondary and picked up some more yardage. It wasn't enough for a first down, though.
Greasy's thrown, pardon me, Don. Greasy's thrown only 4 times. Last year in the championship game against Oakland, he passed only 6 times. Doc is the leading ground gainer with 41 yards. Deep retreat. There it goes. The ball, and he was wide open. Skip Thomas fell down. Greasy's pass was a bad one to Moore. He was wide open for a touchdown. Might have slipped off Greasy's hand.
But you know, you watch that coverage. There was a double on that side. It would look like almost a triple on this side. So, although Marvin Fleming has gone out, that might be one of the reasons they weren't paying much attention to him. But Jim Mandich is in. He was injured in a golf cart accident this week, but he's an excellent receiver, number 88.
Somebody gave him some pressure back there. I really gave Greasy pressure. I didn't see exactly who that was, but he got back there fairly quick.
Second down 10. The Raiders were fortunate on that last play. Game tied 7-7. 2:20 to go in the first half. No, I see no flags dropped. Looked like Oakland might have been offside, but they jumped back. Sonka brought down by Sistrunk and Gerald Irons. Irons is 86. Sistrunk was there first, number 60. Now it's on the, well, they say it's the 25, 24, 3rd and 10 for Miami. And a timeout. The 2-minute warning has been given to Shula and Madden. The score is tied, Oakland 7, Miami 7.
2 more innings to go.
Football Competition Committee replacing Jim Finks. It'll be Tex Graham, Al Davis, Paul Brown, and Don Shula now. deciding the competition of the future of the National Football League. A very important committee in the NFL. Nottingham is in. Larry Salk is out. Jimmy Ward goes in. He's a fifth secondary back for the Raiders. Third down and 10. All the time.
Oh, yeah.
Now he takes off. He runs into his own man, Art. Now he dumps the ball off to Nottingham. Nottingham's at the 20 and nearly has a first down.
Almost pulled that
There's
one
a
out.
valuable man, Nottingham. They traded him to Baltimore and got Nottingham. Now they have him back again also.
All right, he was looking for Warfield. Paul made several moves. He goes to the inside. Now he takes it back out.
If you get one shot, you push him back down. There's got to be some kind of penalty for that somewhere, haven't there? He was obviously trying to hit somebody deep. You saw him move. He couldn't get himself put together. They were lucky to get that thing out to 10 yards.
There's a 34-yard field goal attempt by Garo Yepremian. He's kicked 8 this year. They haven't gone for it as much. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and Miami has the lead back again. With a minute and 1 second to go in the first half, the little tie maker puts the Dolphins out in front, 10-7. Well, that was a drive. Miami took the ball after the Raiders scored on the 31-yard pass from Stabler to Charlie Smith. Went from their 36-yard line. Stopped on fourth down with a yard to go, and then kicked the 33 yards now. Officially, they've called it.
You know, when you think about those rule changes and you realize that Garo Yepremian has had only 8 field goals, that was his 9th all year, you realize what a difference the rule changes made, obviously, for the kicking game. Here's another one from the 35-yard line and field position.
One of the reasons Yepremian didn't have more field goals, the Dolphins were very good this year when they got inside the 20 scoring for touchdowns. Smith and Harold Harder deep for the Raiders.
And another reason his tie business was going good this year, and he didn't need the publicity.
Right. Grabbed there by Hart, the rookies, out to the 20, 25, to the 30, 31-yard line. Clock stops now, 57 seconds and a half, and Ed Newman downfield to make that stop. Super Bowl 9, January 12th on NBC. It'll start at 1:30 Eastern Time with a review of the season. A special one-hour program entitled NFL 74, the championship chase. Then at 2:30, a pregame show featuring Don Meredith and Joe Namath, Jeannie Morse, and Jack Perkins. Super Bowl 9 from Tulane Stadium in New Orleans follows immediately at 3 o'clock.
Yonder in New Orleans. Yeah, in the land of dreamy scenes. I can hardly wait.
Harv Hubbard.
All right, how do you figure that one out?
Runs it out to the 37, and the clock is moving. Oakland trailing 10-7, 45 seconds to go in the half.
You got to figure they're going to try to get 3, haven't you? What is this stuff? Gowdy, call something out, man. Now, we got plenty of time to move that thing down there.
They called it. Some of the fans are about to get on Madden and the Raiders. Oakland has 2 timeouts remaining. While Oakland has disappointed its fans in not reaching a Super Bowl in recent years, they've won 5 out of 6 playoff games right here in their home field. They're very hard to beat here, as is Miami in the Orange Bowl. Charlie Smith into the lineup, replacing Clarence Davis in the Oakland backfield.
The 2 quarterbacks are going over to their respective sidelines. The defensive quarterback, Nick Bonaconte, he's on the far side talking to Vince Costello there. Don Shula letting that outstanding ex-Cleveland Brown, ex-Giant, set up with Nick, and on this side it was Kenny Stabler.
Nick may be older than this.
I don't think so.
I just get it. Oakland ball on their 38-yard line. Second down, 3. George Blanda received an award today you'll be seeing at halftime. Very prestigious award. The oldest player ever to play professional football. Stabler going back. Watch out for Cliff Branch. They don't go to him. They hit Litnikoff short. Litnikoff down at the 45, 46-yard line in Miami. Now the Raiders rush in. Stop the clock. They have 1 timeout left.
I'll tell you, there are times when it's so outstanding to have a man like Fred Biletnikoff. He stands up now. Your Stabler had all the time in the world, but Freddie must have given them 5 moves and that quickness to dart, that ability.
The key to it, I think, really, Al, Biletnikoff is great, but my gosh, you got there's Art Shell, Upshaw, Otto Bueller. You know, these guys gave him all the. If you give Stabler that much time to throw to guys like Biletnikoff and Cliff Branch, he's going to hit them, man, and these guys are going to catch it. So they've got to put some pressure on him out there. I think that's where, if there's one area where injuries are going to show up, it's going to be to Fernandez, who's not going at really full speed. Then Herter's a little bit. He's not up to real full strength, but they've got to put a pass rush on him. This guy can really burn you when he throws the ball.
He led the NFL last year with the best percent, over 60%. This year he hit 57. Very accurate. He's a dart thrower, and he can also go long. As the bombs he threw to Cliff Branch. I'll tell you, the Dolphins can take care of fellas like Branch, though. They did it with Isaac Curtis. Branch so far has been smothered, but he scares you when he comes out of the huddle running at 109-2. Saber back deep, looking around, sidelines it, and skipping out of bounds.
Smooth.
Tied in by 4.
That was smooth play by Saber.
Now the clock stops with 25 seconds to go in the half.
He's really trying to work the other side. This is his second or third receiver. The other side was covered very well. Moore knows that what he's got to do is catch the ball, get out of bounds. Got Madison there trying to defend against him. That's awful hard for a linebacker to do that.
Don, you weren't with us, but Al and I saw one of the classics of the season. No timeouts remaining. A little over a minute to play. Ball on her own 48. Saber took his team 52 yards to score. He ran over with 8 seconds to go, but he worked that clock and those sidelines.
One of the most exciting parts of the game, I think, Curt, is right here in this time when you're working that clock.
Banasak's in the lineup now. Raiders.
All right.
They get to him that time. The first sack by the Dolphins. Byrne, then Herter. Each team now has thrown the other quarterback once for a loss. That sets Oakland back. And we have 21 seconds to go in the first half. Miami ahead, 10-7.
You got 21 seconds. You've got 1 timeout. Now, Kenny Stabler has a decision to make. A draw, Don, straight ahead can get him at least 10 yards, it looks like. It appears that he could try for, a field goal, or he may go all the way.
Clock is moving. 14. They're down to 10. Out it goes to Smith, and he just runs out of bounds. He stops the clock with 6 seconds to go. It's at the 40-yard line.
That didn't help them much there. They got 5 or 6 more yards. It's still going to be a 55-yard, 56-yard field goal, and I doubt if they would try it, but you never do know. The man of the year that we're going to be looking at halftime is not coming on, and I can understand that. That's a long kick, so they're going to probably just go ahead and kick it out. 6 seconds to go. We'll get to the second half.
The longest field goal for Blanda this year has been 49 yards. Ray Guy is in. 4th down, 5 to go. Back is Dick Anderson. Jake Scott has not returned to the game. We cannot get any word from the bench on him. He was injured early in the game. Charlie Babb replaced him in the secondary. Matt Moore's been returning punt. Nobody back in safety line right now, but Guy's still going to punt it. And this one is coming on into the end zone for the touchback. And the clock shows time has run out. That's the end of the first half in the Oakland Coliseum. The defending Super Bowl champs, the Miami Dolphins, 10. The Oakland Raiders, 7.
Try and get a little thing working together, Curt.
I've done it with that.
All right. I haven't heard you come up with any of that Italian opera.
I just do opera, yeah.
That's the opera. The Grand Ole Opry wouldn't even have you.
And Caruso could only shatter a water glass.
Yeah.
Miami will kick off from your right. You premium to do the kicking. 10-7. And right now,
put the little ball on the little orange bag, kick it way down, let the boys run it back. That's the way you start this game.
Will be Hart and Ron Smith. Hart's closest to you, 34. Smith, 27.
And hasn't Ron Smith been exciting this year?
89's been the story of this game, number 89. Matt Moore running the opening kickoff back, 89 yards for a touchdown. That's the difference. Hart coming out to the 20, 25, 34, and he's tumbled down. Oakland's ball, first down. On first down yardage in this game, Miami's gained 7 yards every first down play. Oakland 4.5. Stuckey on the tackle.
Specialty teams, the headhunter they like to call him, Henry Stuckey. So much a part of the football game. And his dad was here yesterday to watch him practice, and Henry's from Oakland, and Dad's cheering.
And his brother plays at Washington State was at the practice. Davis and Hubbard behind Ken Stabler. A slot right. Stabler fell down. Slipped. Looked like he was trying to fake up the middle and roll out around the right side. He fell down on his own. That loses yardage.
Frankly, it looked a little, Curt, like a broken play, and it might well be the second one we saw today. Both by the Oakland Raiders.
Bob Hines goes to the sideline. Larry Ball comes in their 53 defense. Jake Scott with an ice bag on his right knee is not playing. He hasn't played since early in the game. Charlie Bass is strong safety. Or at one of the safety spots. That's Davis trying to sweep. They can't get too much there going as the Raiders spin him in. The Dolphins are sort of a bending team. They give ground slowly, slowly, slowly. Make you take your time coming down the field at them, even though you're picking up yardage.
You know, we talked about the other offensive line, that of the Miami Dolphins. The strength of Oakland has always been their offensive line, but Gene Upshaw on the left and Art Shell on the left in short yardage situations. Good pair to look at.
So it's a third down and 3. Oakland on their 35.
There.
They'll pass for it. Beautiful protection. And broken up as intended for Branch, and Colin hit him legally. Mike Colin, who's a real popper.
Hard pass to catch right there. He's coming in on a difficult angle, a little bit different than he's used to seeing that ball, and Kenny zipped that one, I think, a little bit too hard.
You know the other thing, Curt, the Dolphins have a real facility for stopping the big receiver. We saw them do it against Isaac Curtis, and up to this point, they've been doing it to Cliff Branch, number 21.
Branch caught 60 passes this year, 13 touchdowns, the most of a wide receiver. 1 of 2 to gain over 1,000 yards, and in this game, he has been held to 1 reception. A real key. Ray Guy booms the punt down to Nat Moore, who takes it on his 21. Moore trying to get outside. Now comes back this way and hit from behind on his 21. Covering is the captain of the special teams, Bob Hudson, number 36.
The guy carried 44 yards. It was taken by Moore at the 21. He was hit at the 21.
Again, the special teams, we talk so much about them. Actually, Don Nottingham made a fine play on that particular one, but Bob Hudson, the captain, was also down.
He was blocked once, got up and still made the tackle.
44-yard punt, no return. Benny Malone, Larry Sonka behind Bob Greasy. Miami ahead 10-7 early in the third period. Sonka coming back to the 24. Starter left, says nope, then went right, where Horace Jones, the right in 82, and Gerald Aarons were on top of him, number 86.
Don't know that it's true, but that might be an example of Sonka's foot that we mentioned earlier, where he's been hurt. That cut was not really as quick as I've seen him make before, but he has a way of still plugging in there, and he's the leading ball carrier for today. He's going to make a lot of yardage for you, but I think because of the sore foot, he's not quite as quick as he has been.
Raiders have a 3-man rush. Sistrunk, Tom, and Horace Jones and 4 linebackers. Talk again. He's buried at the 26 by Sistrunk. Monty Johnson, second-year man from the University of Nebraska. Incidentally, only 1 turnover today. An intercepted pass by Miami, charged against Oakland. Neither team. There's Mercury Morris, has been a mystery man this year. Blake keeps bothering him. Only 214 yards. He's usually a 1,000-yard man. Third down 4, and he takes away a dimension from that Miami running game with that great outside burst of his. Third and 4. Greasy will pass for it. Spreads them out.
Good play.
By Dan Connor, just ahead of the ball. It's Jim Manning.
What a nice defensive play. Oh, that was pretty. It appeared that Manning is going to be open as he comes across the middle. You see that's the tight end coming across there. And look at Connors come back, change directions, make a dive. Boy, got that hand out there just in time. Good defensive play.
Larry Seipel in punt formation. He'll kick to Ron Smith. Here's the kick. A floater. Smith on his 38. And he's stopped on his 40. Good coverage going downfield. Lloyd Mumford for the Dolphins, and also Jim Langer, the all-pro center, a 35-yard punt. Well, we're going to take a timeout when players resume. Oakland's ball on their own 40, first down. There's your score, 10-7 Miami.
When a cat burglar shakes a high-rise building, Chief of Detectives Amy Prentice moves to declaw the cat. Sunday night at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time on NBC.
Larry Saka, the most valuable player in last year's Super Bowl, been the leading ball carrier today in this game. Stabler puts him down at the Oakland 40 with a first down. Play action pass. Out wide open. Bolitnikov has the ball for a first down at the Miami 40. That's the fourth pass Bolitnikov has caught.
Fred Bolitnikov. We remember him from Florida State. Control runner. Always in position. Notice how softly he catches the football.
How softly.
How softly.
How softly he catches the ball. Look to me
He
if
has 4 for 60 yards.
was it a missed assignment, or would you just say there was an open over there in that particular defense? Or who knows?
I have the feeling.
Or who cares?
He saw the opening. I do.
One of you care, okay. There was an opening there.
First down, Raiders ball at the Miami 40. Stabler again.
Oh, he's going deep.
To Bolitnikov, and Foley.
Oh, yeah! Can you believe that? Holy mackerel!
Foley tipped it in the air to the end zone. But the official says out of bounds. Watch this replay.
This came close the second time that Foley was beaten.
I still can get a kick out of it whether they scored or not. This thing is up in there. Watch this one.
When it goes that high, you have the feeling it's going to be intercepted. Little volleyball shot there.
Yeah. There you go. Out of bounds. Game of inches. That might be a brand new phrase. You think about it if you used that before? Game of inches?
I never heard it.
Very
Now
new.
let's use it again. Do y'all want to?
Good term.
Okay.
Second down, 10. Oakland ball on the Miami 40. Miami ahead, 10-7. Just under 11 minutes remaining in the third period. They run it this time. Clarence Davis. Neither team now running well against the other. Mike Poland hitting number 57, and Nick Bonacani.
You know, Curt, although neither team is generating much in the way of offense, it's not that usual play it close to the vest kind of a football game that these big games so frequently have turned out to be. Close to the vest, conservative, do the thing that doesn't hurt you rather than doing the thing that helps you. I think they're really putting the football up, and just excellent football being played on both sides.
Larry Ball left the game. Henry Stuckey's in as the fifth secondary back for Miami. 3rd and 7. Manifac in the backfield. Stabler whips it out to the side end. Moore scrambling forward. Very close to the first down. That'll be an interesting if they're short what they're going to do.
It was a good effort by Moore, wasn't it? And he caught that ball and hit, stumbled in it. He knew where the first down was. Whether they made it or not, he sure got close.
He looked like a snake wriggling for that yardstick.
All right, if they don't, say they're about a couple of inches short here. You're in the third quarter. They're 3 points down. You got to go for it, or you're going to kick a field goal.
You go for it.
You got to go for it. Right.
Down in the field, Marv Hubbard has come to the bench, holding his left arm, his left elbow, and his left wrist. They have a first down. First down. And Hubbard, something wrong with his left wrist or hand. Jake Scott's been injured since early in the game for the Dolphins. Oakland ball now.
All right. Now, again, we've been talking so much about the middle of that defensive line. Bob Hines, Manny Fernandez, particularly number 85, Nick Bonacani. With Hubbard out, it would appear maybe they're not going to come right at you, but maybe that's when they do.
Miami ahead, 10-7. Oakland on the Miami 30. First down. Fake to Davis. The pass no good. Everybody was covered.
Very well.
Off was smothered. by number 57, Colin behind him. Saber might have just thrown that ball away and played a fear of an interception. There he is, Colin. Not big for a linebacker at 220, but a tremendous hitter and very mobile.
He is. Talking about those linebackers, the one that seems to be most effective as a blitzer is number 53, Bob Matheson of Duke. And there we're looking at a shot of the sideline.
Did you throw that Duke in there for a particular reason?
My alma mater.
Oh, your alma mater. I didn't know you were from Duke.
Well, you Texas.
You're old Blue Devil, right?
Charlie Smith and Banassac. The old vet was short of the 20. He's close to a first down. He's a light Jim kick. Ball hurting. He smells the goal line. He can get the yardage when you have to have it. And he can run outside better than Hubbard.
Sometimes when it looks like pass, you run. And when you've got a Banassac in there who has that acceleration and that good feel for the hole, you make yards. Big, big play.
They have 3rd and 1. Al Davis said Miami is the greatest team in the history of football on a goal line stand or on short yardage. Giving credit especially to Barnicani, who stop you. 3rd and a yard to go.
He ought to throw.
There's a yard and more. First down. Clarence Davis. And a hole. And he cuts to the 13-yard line of Miami. Now the Raiders are sweeping. They're trailing 10-7. Miami. There's Al Davis, the managing general partner. If they don't win this one, he's going to be the most frustrated man in America.
He'll definitely have that piece of gum chewed out by the time this thing's over. He's working on it heavy.
Oakland on the Miami 13, first down. Oakland grabbed the opening kickoff. Matt Moore ran it 89 yards for a touchdown. That's the difference. Saber fading.
Got him.
Out of the run.
Oh, you missed him. You missed him.
Moore was out there.
Yeah, that was set up pretty. Moore did a little delay in there. Let things clear out. The linebacker went to the inside. Soft delay. Ball was a little bit too far out in front of him.
Second down, 10. I think Saber's unhappy with himself.
Yeah.
Well, you know, again, he's in that situation. He's got the 2nd and long situation. It looks like pass. But again, we might just keep our eye on that man hitting up there very quickly.
Second down, 10. Raiders on the Dolphins 13. Miami leading 10-7. Minnesota beat the Cardinals today 30-14. There's a pass lob to Biletnikoff.
If he caught that, and he did catch that, I've never seen anything like that. Unbelievable. Oh!
He was forced out of bounds, carried out of bounds.
Here it is. You're just not going to see a better performance than Curt Biletnikoff is putting out today. He gets hit, never takes his eye off the ball.
One thing I can say, I thought he made the best catch of the day a while ago. It was out of bounds. Let's watch this one. Well, that's going up there after it. You have to have great concentration. He was in there. Great concentration. He was in there.
That's the 5th pass he's caught today. Here's
What a beautiful, beautiful reception.
And the kick is good. For the Dolphins, we're trailing, and Miami has just been scored on as Oakland went 60 yards for the score to go ahead. Timeout. Oakland 14, Miami 10. Touchdown. Here's the veteran receiver, Fred Biletnikoff. Year after year, one of the amazing receivers in the league. Great footwork, not overly fast. Handles the body, going up and inbounds with a ball for the touchdown. A line drive kick to Matt Moore. Runs it out to the 30. And he's to the 35-yard line. Miami's ball. Well, we've seen Miami drop behind before. You don't go to Super Bowls in a row the way they have without coming back. Following the Rose Bowl on New Year's night, Notre Dame against Alabama. Always a top college game with exciting halftime pageantry on NBC Sports. #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Now the Raider fans are yelling defense. Benny Malone and Stalka set behind Bob Greasy. Greasy 3 out of 7. He's thrown 7 times. He gives it to Malone. Malone has some yardage. They put him out on his 43-yard line, a gain of 8 for the rookie Benny Malone. 1,000-yarder in his senior year at Arizona State last year.
Take a look at it. you've got more out there. That's what you call one of your stand-up blocks and fade back down and try to pick up somebody else. This is kind of an outside-in sweep. We haven't seen too many of those by Miami today. They primarily are inside the tackle kind of team. That time with Malone's speed. This is how Mercury Morris has been so effective in the past, and they've missed him this year because of that fact.
Second down, 2. Dolphins on their 43. They're trailing now, 14-10. In a double wing. Play action pass. Greasy, a great scrambler, looks the field over, gets away, has a first down, and he's out of bounds. He really hurt Oakland last year on 2 big third down plays in the Orange Bowl, scrambling once for 26, another for 12 to give Miami first downs and continue drive.
Well, I'll tell you, we're seeing it today. We're seeing the experience, the professional coming through. Stabler, Biletnikoff. We're watching Bob Greasy putting on a super performance, and there is Fred Biletnikoff.
Both teams, especially Oakland, we attended the workouts yesterday. I've never seen a team as sky high as Oakland's been all week. Sometimes that's bad. You come in and start dropping the ball, having the butterflies. But both teams have played nearly perfect football. There's been only 1 turnover in the game. Miami on the Oakland 48 with a first down. Oakland ahead, 14-10. Zonka fouls his way to the 40-yard line of the Raiders, hit by Otis Sistrunk.
When we get a chance, if we go take a look at those statistics on 1st and 10, it looks like the 1st and 10 for the Miami Dolphins has been outstanding to this point, and despite that, it's 14-10 against them.
Nottingham replaces Zonka. Larry today, let's check his yardage. He has 55 yards and 14 carries, the top ball carrier. Second down, 2 to go. Miami on the Oakland 40. He moved. That right setback moved. Just nudged forward with his hand, raised up a little bit. That's a legal motion. Well, that's Jones tackle.
I think he actually got a first down, so it turns it into a first down. Now they got a second down and a long 6 or 7.
Oh, he wanted a freeze, but he couldn't do it. There it is, backfield in motion against the Dolphins.
You know, we've seen so many great plays so far today. Nat Moore's opening. Now, 89 all year has been making the clutch play. Nick Bonaconti feels that really he's made all the big plays for them. Well, not all, but most of the big plays. A good spot for Moore.
We talked about Cliff Branch being held to 1 reception. Paul Warfield has not caught a pass today. The 2 aces have been checked by the opponent. Second down, 7. Miami's ball on the Oakland 45. Greasy going deep to Moore. Just missed him. He really had it. Boy, this kid's something, this Nat Moore. He's dangerous.
You know, you're right about Warfield not catching anything and Branch maybe catching 1, but just the mere fact that you have him on the team adds so much to a passing attack because you can never let him go. And then a guy like this one that comes along, and he had him beat. They were watching Warfield. He went back, went down, looked at the middle, leaves him wide open down the sideline. That should have been, and very easily could have been, a touchdown.
Well, you know, you look at Nat Moore, you're right. That could have been easily a touchdown, but now I'm sure that Ike Thomas particularly has got to be concerned. They're making a defensive change, going into the 5 men in the backfield. But a Nat Moore with 1 on him can always make that comeback kind of pass. Don, they're going to be watching him deep.
Jimmy Warren went into the 5th back. Willie Brown not playing today. Had a bad knee and then a virus infection. Third down, 7, the all-pro right cornerback. Jake Scott's been injured since early in the game. Great protection. This pass is overthrown.
Good up on a flag, and he did.
That pass is intended for Jim Kick, and you've got a flag dropped on this one.
Really a tough call.
On Filipiano, I believe.
Usually a good defender against the pass, and he interfered with him, ran into him a little bit. The unfortunate thing for Filipiano is he wasn't going to catch the ball anyway.
No, way overthrown. Miami's ball now on the Oakland 16-yard line, and that could be a costly penalty against the Raiders.
They're putting Bubba Smith in. Now, they've been working pretty well on Norm Evans' size. Benny Malone has super acceleration. He really can get off this awfully arm.
Greasy asked for the crowd to quiet down. Oakland's ahead 14-10 with 6:43 to go. Benny Malone and Sonker, the running backs.
You know,
the referee, Ben Drive.
Early in the game, we talked about the play of Bubba Smith. Now, Bubba is effective coming to the inside. He no longer has the mobility that he once had. Benny Malone, on the other hand, is effective hitting inside and then bursting to the outside.
The coordination now, I'm sure you know more about this than I do, but the coordination between these defensive ends and the corner linebackers is what's extremely important. Now, whether Bubba closes or whether he's playing upfield or whatever it is, the coordination between he and, in this case, Filippiano is extremely important.
All right, Greasy, you can hear the signals. We'll get this play off. First down on the Oakland 16. Good rush on him. He floats it in the end zone. Warfield for a touchdown. Falling down on the play was Nehemiah Wilson, and Warfield has the touchdown. Nehemiah Wilson fell down to leave him wide open.
That was that one play we were talking about a while ago. But Warfield does have a really good double move that we'll see first. Greasy, he just back, straight back. Gets a good rush in there. That's Bubba coming in, putting a good rush on him. We couldn't see Nehemiah fall down, but obviously he did, because Paul's all alone there in that corner.
He was sprawled out in the end zone.
Again, the mark of a champion. You score it on and you come right back.
Miami went 65 yards. The Premium point attempt. Earl Morrow holding.
Big point.
Oh, 2-point ball game now. Timeout. Miami 16, Oakland 14. Here's a play that Warfield scores on. Now watch this move. Now watch Nehemiah Wilson go down.
He had him one-on-one, Curt, which is kind of unusual down in there, and yet it's very difficult to zone when you're that close to the goal line. So he had to play him man for man, and man, he owned him.
You think he's a pretty good end?
I think he's better than pretty good. He's tolerable, you know, better than even tolerable.
First pass he caught, but it's 16 yards for the score. The Dolphins are ahead again. Going out with the ball is Ron Smith. Gets to the 25, the 30. Started to go, and he was tripped up in the last second by Lloyd Mumford, number 26. Well, Al and I will have quite a game there at the Rose Bowl. Ohio State and USC, the third consecutive New Year's Classic. No doubt about it. This is the big one. Each team has won one. This is the rubber game in the last 3 years. We'll watch the Heisman Trophy winner, Archie Griffin, against the runner-up to the Heisman Trophy, Anthony Davis. On NBC Sports, January 1st, the Rose Bowl from Pasadena. Well, Stabler goes right to the air again now. Maybe he does, and he throws the ball. It's the Branch. And now the crowd is claiming that Branch was interfered with by Bonacani.
Take a look at it, Al. What do you think? It's a comeback pattern again. Stabler had plenty of time. Cliff goes down for a turn in. He's trying to move around where it is, where he can get open. I don't think it would be interference.
Both going for the ball.
Bonacani is going for the ball. He's in good position, and Branch just didn't get around in front of him.
Second down, 10. The Raiders ball on their own 32. 6:24 to go in the third quarter. Miami leading 16-14. That's Davis. And he's jammed at his 33-yard line by Bill Stanfield, Bonacani, and Mike Nolan.
Well, up to this point, in this situation, they'd be looking for Biletnikoff. But right now, Hubbard is coming out. Charlie Smith, probably the best receiver, is going in with Pete Banaszak. Third and long, a very big play for the Oakland Raiders.
Oakland was established as a 2 or 3 point favorite for this game. It's just gone about the way everybody thought it would. The two great teams, the two best records in pro football, meeting in the very first round of the playoffs. Couldn't be any closer. Look out. Down goes Stabler. Larry Ball blitzing the fourth linebacker, Vern Denherter helping him. That's the second sack for Miami. Oakland has one. And the Raiders not only did not move, but lost ground in that series, and they'll have to go into a punt formation, but fourth down and 18.
All right, we talk about critical situations, and there's no doubt in my mind that this coming up is the most critical defensive situation the Oakland Raiders will have faced today.
Ray Guy has punted 4 times, 42-yard average. Nat Moore is the safety man. He's on his 32. Poor kick. He sliced it. And it, he gets the lucky bounce on it. And it goes to the Miami 41. Where the Dolphins have a first down. At 1 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, the Buffalo Bills against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. The winner of that game will meet the winner of this game here in Oakland for the American Football Conference Championship a week from tomorrow, 29th. Buffalo and Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh tomorrow, 1 o'clock on NBC.
That's going to be a good one, too.
Yes, sir.
Those are 2 good teams. They're really scrappy. Good defensive team there at Pittsburgh against a good offensive team, Buffalo.
And both young teams. Miami's ball, first down on their 41. They're ahead, 16-14. Again, Oakland rushing only 3 men. So if Piano might blitz there, look like he would. That's Benny Malone. He was tumbled over by number 43, George Atkinson, the safety man.
I don't know Benny Malone. I know his brother, Art. He's been telling me for years. He said, you wait till my brother gets up here in the big time. So he can really scoot.
He's what they call a collision runner. He has speed. He's not too fancy, but he moves and he loves to hit somebody and run over him.
They've been doing a good job so far on Dan Connors. And Dan also, number 55, has been fairly effective himself, moving well.
Second down, 6. Dolphins on their 45. They're ahead by just 2 points. Malone again. And he stops at his 47-yard line by Gerald Iron. And while they untangle, we're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
Channel 11 in Baltimore, WBAL-TV.
Curt Gowdy, DeRogatis, and Tom Meredith back with you. Oakland, California. Jim Kick comes in. Benny Malone goes to the sideline for the Dolphins. There's Malone talking to his coach, Don Shula. 3rd and 4 for Miami. Line of scrimmage, their own 47. Miami leading 16-14. 4 minutes to play in the 3rd period. Manage is in and Fleming is out. Reese wants just enough. That first down, he's in trouble and is stirring back to the 37. That's the second sack on Oakland. Horace Jones and Otis Sistrunk sifting through.
Well, it was a big defensive series, and the Oakland Raiders did rise to the occasion. He couldn't find a man downfield. Monty Johnson's making a blitz to the outside. Horace Sistrunk will be closing on him. Couldn't get away that time.
Larry Seipels in punt formation and Ron Smith back in his 22. Both these teams have excellent specialty squads. They wouldn't be where they were, wouldn't have the record they did. A third of all games are decided on a kicking game. It's a kick over to Smith, who fields it out and fumbles it on his 25. Oh, he hit down there. That's Nottingham covering, and number 62, the center, Jim Langer, along with Hubert Ginn, number 33. NBC's 3rd year of the National Hockey League coverage will get underway on Sunday, January 5th at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, with the St. Louis Blues meeting the Buffalo Sabres, heralding the return of Peter Puck, along with other features. That's on NBC Sports. Number 1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round. Oakland's ball, first down on the Oakland 29. Oakland is trailing 16-14. A shade over 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Hubbard picks up about 5. Marv Hubbard. Ian Davis are now the running back. Bob Matheson and Henry Stuckey on the tackle. On the 35-yard line, we have had no official report on that injury to Jake Scott, his right knee. How bad it was, we don't know. Second down, 4. Curtis Johnson is back in the game. It goes out the right cornerback. Henry Stuckey replaced him on that last play to make the tackle. Second and 4. Faber scrambling away. They take off. Runs to the sideline.
Got him a first down.
He has the first down. Just short of his 40.
Secondary's doing a good job of covering his receivers. He sent 4 out that time, and there weren't any of them really open that much. He got some good pressure, too.
That puts Oakland on their 39. As Pete Banaszak is entering the backfield to replace Marv Hubbard.
So often on a first down situation, when the quarterback decides to run, you'll see the strong safety man making the tackle. Well, he's the fourth man, number 40, in this case, Dick Anderson.
They're in a slot left. Banaszak piled up at the 40-yard line for a 1-yard gain by the old veteran middle linebacker playing in his 13th year, Nick Bonacani.
He read that one really well. If you come from the middle linebacker and hit a guy before he gets to the line of scrimmage, you know he's keyed on something pretty well and moved after he keyed.
Boy, he's been a reader all his life at Notre Dame and in the pros. Great diagnostician. Quick.
Read himself all the way into a law degree, didn't he?
Yep.
If I could have been a speed reader, I might have been a lawyer.
He's been a good one. Dealing with the jury. Second and 9. There's cleared that time. Bob Matheson first, then Vern Den Herter, number 83. That puts them back on the Oakland 37. They have a third down and 12, and John Madden getting more worried now as time passes. Larry Ball comes into the fourth linebacker. Miami will rush Ben, Den Herter, Fernandez, and Stansfield.
Don Shula came out and he joked with John Madden. He said, "Come on now, John, put a coat on. It's chilly."
He's emulating Woody Hayes. Third and 12. Stabler can't find anybody. Look at that coverage. He runs it to the 40. Oh, wow. Green. Boy, did he get it from behind. Was he popped by Matheson, Stansfield, and Bonacani.
Well, Don, when you decide to run the football and you're a quarterback, and they know you're a good quarterback,
they're going to unload on you.
Do you get the feeling that he got unloaded on now?
Look, see, again, the last two plays, they've really been covering him well. Watch Bonacani, and this is Matheson, 53, coming around. Bonacani had him to one, and that was Stansfield. It came all the way from
behind.
Yeah. So you get it from the back and the front, it's going to hurt somewhere. More than likely all over, more than any place else.
Punt formation. Ray Guy kicks a low one. It could be a return for Moores at the 15. Wave of black. He runs into his own man, John Nottingham. John Nottingham is the man who stopped him, his own teammate. They got messed up.
This is one of those embarrassing replays. When they show the film, they'll show it over and over. That's assuming Miami wins. If they don't, they may not look at the film until next year.
But you give him credit, give Nottingham credit. He was hustling. He turned around, realized what he did, but he immediately turned around and said, "I'll try to block somebody and make up for it," but he was a little bit late in doing it. That does keep him back down in there, because that was a good low kick that they usually can run back for a pretty good distance.
Miami's ball under 18, first down. Typical Dolphin day, no mistakes, no turnovers, no fumbles, no interceptions. This is the way they've been the world champs the last 2 years. They're trying to go to the Super Bowl a fourth time in a row. They run Tonka on that misdirect play right up the middle of the counter, and he's got a first down.
Now you're looking at the orange defense, and Larry Little, when there's a three-man rush, which we just saw, Larry Little is awfully good, and if you don't stop Tonka, you don't win the football game. Dan Connors.
Coming across at Connors, you're absolutely right. Larry Little is the highest paid offensive lineman in football today. Cut a real good deal with Joe Robbie at the beginning of the season, and I guess it paid off right there.
And they just paid off the end of the third quarter at Oakland. The score, Miami 16, Oakland 14. The football league. There's Don Shula. 4 of his assistants high in the press box, phoning him down information. Miami has the ball. Don Meredith, DeRogatis, Curt Gowdy with you as we enter the fourth period. The pitch is to Malone, 35-40, and he may be just short of a first down. And the Dolphins now are moving. Monty Johnson is the man that upended this.
Well, again, we mentioned they don't go outside too often. They don't feel they have the speed, but this is one guy that does. It's just a pitch outside. Again, he's following Little, and he gets a pretty good block from Marv Fleming down there, too, number 80. Well, actually, not as good as I thought, but anyway.
Also, Don, the fact that Tonka has been so effective.
Right up the middle.
At that middle, you know, that outside open beautiful.
Tonka has 69 yards in the game, the leading ball carrier. Second down, 2. Miami's ball. He has a first down. Malone has 41 yards. Miami up to their old tricks, controlling the ball once they get the lead. Stonka now is 74 yards.
Bob Kuchenberg, the other guard, an excellent guard, blocking for Zonka. That's on Gerald Irons, and Larry has that lean forward trajectory. Looks like a missile coming at you.
The old lean forward trajectory trick.
And the Buffalo and Pittsburgh meet tomorrow on NBC, 1 o'clock Eastern time. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game for the American Football Conference Championship on December 29th. Greasy pass.
Look at there. What's he look?
Out of bounds at the 35 of Oakland, a first down. Second pass Moorfield has got. He was wide open.
He is just absolutely beautiful to watch. I don't think I've ever seen a man run as fluidly as this man.
You didn't get to see me play a lot, Al, but I'll let that one go. The thing I like about it is that he's really mixing up his plays. He had Zonk in the middle. He had Malone to the outside. He really caught him this time in a quick little roll-up zone. Hit it right where you're supposed to, right before Atkinson could get over there. There you go. It's a hard name to spit out. Anyway, you know old 43. Yeah. Ready right in there.
5 out of 10 for Bob Greasy. As usual, using the pass sparingly but effectively. First down, Miami on the Oakland 35. Malone outside. Picks up 4 yards to the 31 of Oakland. That'll be second down, 6.
A lot of time to go, but the indication that I get at the beginning of this fourth quarter is that if Oakland is to get back into this ball game, they should stop this drive because Miami has been, I think, more effective in this drive and mixing it up. Isn't that right, Al?
Actually, the last two. You know, that 65-yard march, and now this march, 2 good drives in a row.
Second down, 6. Miami on the Oakland 31. Right left. Miami's ahead, 16-14. Zonka. And he stumbles forward to the 27 or 28-yard line where he ran into Horace Jones. Don Shula pacing those sidelines. John Madden, come on, baby, let's hold him.
You can be sure Shula will settle for the field goal, but he wants the touchdown. The field goal only means Oakland is still in touchdown range.
You got to think if you got a Zonka and you got 2 yards to make 2 downs to make 2 yards, it's not a bad gamble to give it to him both times.
You got the gun, shoot it. Let's see if they do. 3rd and 3. Let's go for it. Sideline to Walker. He dropped the ball. He had it there. He was open again inside position on Jemiah Wilson, but he couldn't hold on to it. Now it's 4th down and 3. Earl Morrow will come in, and he'll hold the ball for Euphemian.
They say Euphemian doesn't like to kick on grass. We'll find out.
Well, he's hit the speed from this will be a 30, 46-yard attempt. He's made 2 out of 4 from 40 to 49 yards this year. This one is up. It is good.
He likes to kick on grass.
Yeah, he doesn't like to kick on grass.
Except if it's an open.
Yeah. Well, we have a timeout. The score now is Miami 19 and Oakland 14. The short one coming to Harold Hart on his 11-yard line. He's out to the 20. He's got a crack at the 30. Went to the 35, and he's up to his 38-yard line. He's tackled by Don Nottingham, number 36. The NFL report with Tim Ryan. Post-game interviews. Highlights of today's game coming up next. Now remember, in the Miami secondary, they're all pro safeties been out since early in the game. Jake Scott and Curtis Johnson has been in and out of the lineup here in the second half. He's been replaced by Henry Stuckey at right quarterback, so 2 of their starting deep 4 are out. Clarence Davis and Marv Hubbard. The ball is on the Oakland 39 with a first down. Oakland trailing 19-14. That's Hubbard, and they're just not running against the Dolphins.
Matheson made a good move. He really wasn't blocked, but he came through and forced Hubbard to the outside where he got some help. Anderson came up from the strong safety and also closed it off pretty good. They're going to have to put it in the air, I think, Curt.
Looks like it, Don. Hubbard has 40 yards in the game. They can't get outside on him.
You would think with the 2 injured safety or secondary men that you've just mentioned that would even make it more obvious that they would throw.
Ranch to the left, Bolitnikoff right. Second down 10. Sabres pass. Dropped by Bolitnikoff. Jim Foley on him, touched from behind, might have jarred it loose. And the 49 is Charlie Babb, who replaced Jake Scott. Now it's 11 out of 21 for Sabres. Third and 10 for Oakland from their 39.
Again, they're doing that effective job on the speed man, Cliff Branch. And now they're doubling, and they have been, on Bolitnikoff. Clarence Davis, not as good a receiver as Charlie Smith, but he's in there, and on the last play, he was open.
And we might keep our eyes on the tight end, Bob Moore. Third and 10. Here's a
Green.
And he's wrapped up by Dick Anderson. That's why he's an all-pro safety. Just plays like that. They just refuse to let him break it. They give you 5, 6 short yards, and somebody hits you.
This thing exploded real well. Clarence Davis, the receiver. It was in front of them. The Dolphins knew where first down was. They closed on it, took away a big play.
Yeah, Al, I have to agree. This thing could have picked up another 8 or 10 yards. Anderson stepped inside of that.
Right, seal that blocker off.
They would say, I don't know who it was. The blocker came out, but then made a good move back in to get there.
Great guy to punt. This is a high kick to Nat Moore. Moore lets it pass. Look out here. It is down on the 2-yard line by the Raiders. And Miami now will be up against their goal line with a 19-14 lead. Great guy with a high punt. Moore elected not to field it. And they have a timeout with a score. Miami 19, Oakland 14. Unhappy crowd in Oakland. Now they call this a touchback. Here's the replay. Here's the kick bouncing.
Well, I know Al knows the record book, so he can handle it, but he did not have possession, but maybe he did touch it, and his feet were in the end zone.
That's right. He was in the end zone, and that's obviously what the call is.
That was Harold Hart.
I just didn't know that. I thought you had to have possession. Learn something every day. Try to.
Not a bad way to do it either.
Really upset. There's his feet now. That's Harold Hart, the rookie. If he could have held that ball cleanly on the 2-yard line and not fumbled it, Miami was on their 1 or 2-yard line. Now they have the ball on their 20. Willie's in for Nat Moore as wide receiver right. Miami ahead 19-14. Miami had the ball 4 minutes the last time. Saka. There they go again. 6 to 7 yards every first down. They've averaged about 7 yards on first down plays. Lyle Wilson and Gerald Irons made the tackle. It's on the 27-yard line of Miami. Second down 3. They'll just eat that clock up on you.
I'll tell you, Oakland can still win this football game, but we're seeing a really great game. This could well be the greatest team ever. I'm talking now about the Miami Dolphins. If Oakland beats them, they're beating a super team.
Second down 3 for Miami. In motion is Foley. That's Benny Malone. They stop him at the 28 of Miami. That's Art Tom. Phil Villapiano.
Boy, here's an underrated fellow. Art Tom, number 80. Likes to play football. He's a hard-nosed man. And he's always in the game. Good play. At 7.6, Curt, I think you mentioned that on 1st and 10 that the Miami Dolphins are averaging.
Let's watch Greasy now. He may have that long signal count again. See if he freezes his head. Oh, quick count. First down, Larry Pontus. He gets it for you. Standing up beside us, a couple of world champions who are hoping to see their football team win a world title. Reggie Jackson and Raleigh Fingers up there in the booth with it. I think something if they're all speculating out here. You had there's Mercury Morris. You had a Oakland, L.A. World Series of baseball. And we're wondering if it's going to be an Oakland, L.A. World Series of football. But right now, Oakland better catch up with Miami. There's not going to be anything on the coast here from the American Football Conference. To the 34-yard line is Larry Sonka. And they're using the clock again. 2.5 minutes already in this drive. Piano, the left linebacker. Dan Connors brought him down.
When you're using that clock, as you see it there, the one thing you cannot afford to do is to make a mistake. To this point, the Dolphins have been flawless, but a mistake here can be critical.
Well, that's nothing new with them. They haven't had a turnover. Oakland had only one turnover. When Jemiah Wilson fell down, allowed Paul Warfield to go wide open in the end zone. That's the difference in the score right now. And Matt Moore broke the opening kickoff 89 yards for a touchdown. Greasy to Warfield. He's got it. Another first down.
Well, they're looking tough.
But they have the ball on their own 45. Pick. What's that music, man? Pick a little.
That sounds good to me. Pick a little here, pick a little there.
Here's the official ruling. He never had possession of the ball, but they never really fell on the ball and squirted loose and went into the end zone. That's why Miami got the ball on their own 20. The ball was never clearly downed in the playing field by Oakland. Finally wound up in the end zone according to the official. Miami in their 45. Saka doing 47. Second down 8. This is frustrating for this defense to see this machine coming at you and chip away, eat the time up. When you're behind, you know you've got to get the ball back again, and they're keeping it on you. It's got to be really frustrating.
Boy, it sure is. And, Greasy, when he's in control, like we saw France Tarkington early, he's awfully tough. He does anything, obviously, to get the first down. And the other thing is that he will not hesitate to pull it down and run for the first down, out of bounds, of course.
Miami ahead, 19-14. 6:40 to go in the game. Benny Malone's out. Jim Kickers in the backfield for the Dolphins. Saka on the misdirect play, tripped up for a half-yard gain by Bubba Smith.
Bubba read that one really well.
Yeah.
He gave him his left defensive end, saw the thing go. A lot of people have criticized Bubba out here. They say, well, he doesn't go full speed, but in my opinion, I still think he's one of the better defensive ends around. You'll see him reading the tackle right in front of him. He follows all along, comes in there and gets Saka, pulls him down.
Don, you were talking about his brother, Cody. Bubba told me his father's retiring this year as the head coach at Charlton Power High School in Beaumont.
Yeah, he's turned out some good ones. Cody's out here. I talked to Cody before the game, too. Said, I came out to see Big Bubba do something for me.
Jimmy Warren is in as a fifth secondary back. Benny Malone back in the game. Third down and 9 for Miami. From their 48-yard line, you're ahead 19-14. Here's Malone on a reverse.
Good goal. Good
And
goal.
he's stepped down short of a first down, but not much on the Oakland 46.
It was Sistrunk, wasn't it? It came across. He made a good play. Filipiano tripped him up, but Sistrunk was right there behind him and kept him short of that first down.
Exactly. Perfect. Good call, Doc.
I'm just hanging it up here, never can tell.
Fourth down and a long yard to go. Dolphins aren't going to be doing any gambling. They're in punt formation. Every now and then, Larry Pappin will take off on you. Sometimes on his own. 5 minutes to go. A high floater to the far side. He's got a good kick for the Dolphins. And a long ways for Oakland to go now. The clock stopped, 4:54 remaining. Timeout. It is Miami 19, Oakland 14. 6 receptions, 86 yards, 1 touchdown. They're going to the air now. Here's the deep on the ground. Reed. He's got it! Crazy here in the Coliseum. Look at it again. Curt, we mentioned earlier, just as long as you got a guy like this on your side, they got to watch him. He picked it up, slipped down, and didn't turn off the lights. The party's over on that one, and he drops it in there and says, I'll hit it. Don, that's 71 yards. That's the 5th touchdown. Stabler to Branch, over 60 yards this year. Branch Oakland's 109-2. Here's the kick by Blanda. It's up. It's good. And they're waving the black sox down, the Oakland Coliseum. An amazing play by Curt on the pass of Stabler. And now the Dolphins are behind again. This reminds me of the Christmas Day Classic between Miami and Kansas City. That's the greatest game I ever broadcast. Up and down they surged, the longest game ever played. The leaders exchanged hands 3 times now since the second quarter in this game. Now it's Oakland 21, Miami 19. A Miami field goal can still win it.
And we were talking about the fact that Curtis Johnson was out. Curtis was out. Stuckey was in. We'll take another look at this. Cliff Branch, great average all year, 13 touchdowns, and he does it again. And he has the composure when he goes down to get up.
Well, you can see that he also can catch, too, because that was a very difficult catch. They used to say about these speedsters, he has 9 flat speed and 10 flat hands. But that one, he picked it up in pretty good shape.
Johnny Madden says he's been the hardest worker on the team this year. All he needed to do was play regular and catch a few to give him confidence. He's giving the Raiders the big play back again they used to have when Warren Wells was here. Coming out for the ball is Hubert Gent. He's to the 30. Now we'll watch Greasy go to work. The tackle by Bonnie Johnson, number 58. There are 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Oakland leads Miami 21-19. And those 2 last Oakland plays took 17 seconds.
Well, we said it's a super game, and if this man is going to pull off the triple crown of football, he's got 4:28 to do it. He's got a great team going against a fired-up defense right now. Should be an exciting last 4:28.
If you're going for a triple crown, it sure does help to have man of war at your fullback, and that's what he's got. Old man of war will sure slide in there and pick up some good ones for you.
Bonnie Johnson
He's got citations on the outside, too, of number 42.
First down, Miami on their 32-yard line. Greasy traveling away. His pass is complete to Matt Moore at the 45 of Oakland. And back comes it Oakland.
How about this?
I just knew this was going to be a good ball game, and it is. Watch old Moore come slide down here. Now, this one, again, he got a little pressure from that in the pocket, slid out. Moore's coming back across the middle. He's looking around and said, here I am, man. Let me have it. Slipped it in there. Big gainer. Now, they're almost down there in that field goal range again. So, we're going to have a good one.
We got a good one.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
23-yard pass with Greasy to Moore. Time moving. Oakland ahead, 21-19. Runs away over his own man to the 38-yard line. 7-yard gain, and it was Golciano who had to put him down finally.
You think the little Cyprian right now is beginning to wonder. 19-21, his team is trailing. They got everything right now. The timeouts on their side. They're moving the clock. It's a stem winder.
There's a shot at him, and I bet you he hopes he doesn't have one of his homemade ties around his neck when he gets out there, because you can sure choke up on those short ones.
He's figured out a pass play.
Right.
Clock has gained 99 yards.
He's going over 100 right here, I'll bet.
Second down, 3. He did. There he goes.
Yep.
He's got him in field goal range now.
Give us a man of war up the middle and let him run.
Well, we can't help repeat it, but if you don't stop the big man, if you don't stop number 39, you don't beat this team. Let's take another look at this.
Nothing fancy. They don't.
Except
good block on
fancy
Gucci.
blocking.
Yeah, those guys are doing a heck of a job out there. They couldn't quite get to him. When you get him going 5 yards, he's really hard to bring down. He gets up at speed. Look at that clock sticking it off.
He's a big train.
A minute. 2:27 to go. 114 yards for Saunders. And he's really come back after Oakland stunned them with a 72-yard pass play. Alone outside. He's at the 20. He's still going.
He is in there.
He's in there. Touchdown. Let him alone. Miami's taking the lead back again.
What a football game. And Larry Little deserves an remarkable job by Bob Green, calling an absolutely sensational series. With 2 minutes to go, nobody should be. But what's the lead on the Larry Little?
They didn't even give him much of a fake to the inside, but you see Little, number 66, out in front. Now, there's a good block, but you know, Malone does a lot of this on his own. They can't get him off his feet. A slip right there. He kept his balance. Going into that end zone, he said, whoop, I'm going to spike me one.
And he's gained 79 yards in this game.
Big ones, too, to complement that middle thing they got in there. And there's old Yippo. He got it.
Well, two rookies. Nat Moore running the opening kickoff back 89 yards, and another rookie, Benny Malone, 23 yards, putting Miami out in front. And we're right back where we were a couple of minutes ago. Oakland was behind. They hit a 72-yard pass play from Saber to Branch, and now they're behind again. Miami showed you why they're the Super Bowl defending champs. They took the ball on their 32-yard line and went 68 yards in 4 plays in just 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So Oakland will receive. The score is Miami 26, Oakland 21. This is a classic playoff game, just like the Miami-Kansas City game on Christmas Day.
It is a classic.
3 years ago.
No question. These are two of the very finest football teams we have this year, and they're putting on a great show.
The kick coming to Ron Smith on the 12. Down to the 20. Being hemmed in. Runs it out of bounds. He's taken out of there by Jerris White, the rookie, number 41. 2 minutes and 1 second to go. Oakland has his full complement of timeouts. Forgotten in some of the big plays of this game is the fact that Kenny Stabler has thrown 3 touchdown strikes in this game. With Charlie Smith, Litnikoff, and Cliff Branch. Miami needs a touchdown. Or Oakland needs a touchdown. A pass is good. Oh, he's just Bob Moore, the tight end. A 2-minute warning has been flashed. And with the 2-minute warning, we'll tell you, Miami's leading Oakland 26 to 21. And both coaches study the faces. That'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. The season is 2 minutes away for one of these guys being over until next year.
Right now, it's Oakland in the hole. They're trailing 26 to 21. They had a blitz on. They run the ball.
Don't understand that one.
Fernandez and Bill Stansville. Clock is moving. Down there 39, they have a 3rd down and 2. They'll have to get a 1st down.
Got to get a first. He's right, Curt. There he is.
Wide open.
Yes.
That's a Litnikoff.
There's a timeout.
The 43-yard line of Miami for a 1st down.
They're going to give him a lot of space back there, and everybody knows it's this time of the ball game. But you see Branch going to the outside, but Litnikoff coming back in. Might have been a slight mix-up in the defensive secondary because he's wide open right there. They went down into the middle. This is something that we've been kind of talking about up here. They're leaving the middle open quite a bit, but they don't have that much time left. But now they're at least down in Miami territory.
Oakland called a timeout. They have 2 left. Frank Pitts is coming into the game, number 85, replacing Clarence Davis. So 3 wide receivers will be in the lineup. And Dick Anderson, Bob Matheson, Nick Bonacani over talking to Don Shula.
Also, they got Larry Ball in the football game. Miami will be looking for pass, despite the fact that Oakland finds himself with plenty of time. This man, and with 1:23 to go, Don, plenty of time to do it all. We might see Larry Ball come on a blitz, number 51.
They got to have a touchdown, though, Al. Field goal won't do it now.
Right.
They've got to keep that in mind, and of course Miami is well aware of that. So they may get down there close, but Miami has also had in the past they've shown great strength in these waning moments of being able to defend off what they had to defend off to win a ball game.
One key of this game, Miami's outrushed Oakland 2-1. Miami has 209 yards rushing, Oakland 101. That way Oakland's move is in the air. There it is, the Litnikoff again. 1st down on the Miami 23.
I'm telling you,
Litnikoff has caught 8 passes.
they're going to try to run a quick one on this thing.
Now
that ball was well thrown. There were 4. Miami Dolphins in that area, and he zipped it. He threaded the needle.
We're down to a minute to go. They're trailing 26-21. Stabler out of bounds for Chris Grant at the 19-yard line. And the clock stops.
Well, let's see it now. We're seeing the best of football. There's no doubt about it. We talked about Greasy. Well, Stabler has been just super today.
Didn't use one of the timeouts that time. He got his team together as quick as he could, flipped it out to the outside, stopped the clock, and now inside the 20. This is the play before we were talking about. Politikoff coming back across the middle, Alice. Well, no, maybe it wasn't. Look, nobody's perfect down in that truck. Don't worry about it. We'll pick it up later.
52 seconds to go. Miami ahead, 26-21. Second down, 6. For Oakland. Out they spread. That pass is caught at the 14-yard line. Clock is moving. Frank Pitts got it, nearly dropped it. And now they're down to their last timeout.
Oh, this is fun. This is Pitts coming in. He hasn't been playing that much this year. He's coming across, hits him in a bad place. He bounces up. Luckily, that one was not picked off because he got, again, good defensive coverage. He was able to hold on to it.
Denny Stabler putting on an amazing passing show. The last time the Raiders had the ball, they were behind, and he hit Branch for a 72-yard touchdown pass. Now he's driven his team from the 32-yard line of Oakland to the 13-yard line of Miami. And they are still short of a first down. 3rd and a foot to go. Al Davis figuring out the strategy. The score, 26-21. Miami, after Oakland went ahead, came right back and took the lead on a magnificent drive.
And how many people do you think at this point will keep their eye on number 25, Fred Biletnikoff, despite the fact that he's having such an outstanding afternoon? Stabler hits them time and time again.
One thing we failed is 3rd down and 1 to go.
Right.
They also need a first down down here to keep this thing going.
Right.
40 seconds remaining. Oakland has 1 timeout remaining. They need a touchdown. They run it. They have a first down. They have a first and goal to go. And now they call their last timeout. That was Clarence Davis running it. There are 35 seconds remaining. Oakland is on the Miami 8-yard line with a first and goal to go. Well, as I said in the opening of the show, I quoted John Madden, and some fans aren't going to be happy with Madden's statement, but he said, when the best meets the best, anything can happen, and that's what's happened here this afternoon. Just a classic playoff game. Only 1 turnover in the entire game.
We mentioned earlier that Bob Greasy, on tough occasions, will pull that football down and run it. Keep in mind, Kenny Stabler has done that and done it very well.
I think it's one of the better games I've seen in a number of years. We've seen excellent play on both sides. The 1 turnover you mentioned, Curt, was the first pass, I think, of the ball game.
That's right.
And that happens a lot in the ball game. Everybody's a little up, tight, and so forth.
No timeouts left for Oakland. There's your score, the time. Miami scored first in the game, 89-yard kickoff return by rookie Matt Moore. Oakland came back to tie it. Miami went ahead in a field goal, 10-7 at the half. Here he is, fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's fired, he throws. It is.
Didn't have good hands. Stabler was almost thrown for a loss, but to wipe this whole thing out, he gets good pressure. Then Herder from the other side, he throws as he's falling up in the air. 2 or 3 guys are going for it. Son of a gun if he didn't hold on to it. Clarence Davis, number 28 your program, and today number 1 in the Heart Road.
Here it is from another angle. Stabler was hit and falling down as he let it go. And let's watch the point. Landed kick up good. 26 seconds to go. Miami has the lead. And now they're trailing 28-26. Here's the frustration for the Raiders. They still have to hold Miami. There it is again. Oakland went ahead on a 72-yard pass play. Miami came right back to go 68 yards. Benny Malone running the last 23. And Oakland just went 8 plays, 68 yards in a minute and a half. Kenny Stabler, who led the National Football League in touchdown passes this year with 26, has thrown 4 touchdown passes this afternoon.
I like the look on his face when he came over there talking to Coach. It's that thing you see in a guy's eye. He says, hey, wait a minute. If anybody out here can do it, I can do it. And God bless the child that's got his own.
Well, I wasn't there when the Colts beat the Giants. I did it on the way it was in film. But I did the Miami-Kansas City game on Christmas Day, the longest game ever played. When you hit the field goal to win it in the 6th period. And this was 2 greatest games I've ever seen.
How about the Franco Harris deal a year ago against
Oakland? Classic too, great one. But that is wild as this one. The clock is moving. And they out with the ball is 4. He's tackled and brought down to his 33. Now remember, all Miami needs is a field goal to win it.
Now, this is just absolutely too much to ask for, Curt. You know, you think about, we just seen 3 incredible kinds of drives, 2 quarterbacks doing, frankly, what we thought they were capable of doing. The chant is defense. There's 21 seconds, and there's Paul Warfield. And Matt Moore, who's been so outstanding.
Always such a cool Don Shula. He had Oakland beat. He still may do it. I'll believe anything can happen.
Yeah, well, this is one area where I think the home crowd is really an advantage. Because they're not going to let up.
Bob Greasy's asking the referee to quiet the crowd down. Miami fans famous to wave their white handkerchiefs when the Dolphins score in the Orange Bowl. The Raider fans have been waving the black socks today. Silver and black for the Raiders. 28-26 Oakland. Greasy retreating. Fine moving. He heaves it long. It is intercepted. I'll tell you one thing. You got to give the Raiders credit for the 2 great comeback drives. But boy, they beat some football team today.
That's for sure. We said that if you don't stop Larry Tonka, you don't beat the Miami Dolphins. Well, Kenny Stabler didn't buy that. And Kenny Stabler made just a fantastic effort right here at the end, moving that ball down the field.
You know, when you think about, like, this is the interception we're looking at, but let's just for a minute, think about the catch that Cliff Branch made. Think about the one that Biletnikoff made. Think about the one that Clarence Davis made in the end zone. And think about this reception right here. I mean, these guys have really played some unbelievable football.
Yeah, well, their passing game is tremendous. Biletnikoff put on a show today that the classic show of a wide receiver. Stabler has thrown for nearly 300 yards today. 293. There goes Hubbard. Clock is moving to 7. Miami calls timeout to stop it. Kenny Stabler, let me run you down the snake today. Kenny Stabler threw 30 passes in this game. He completed 20 for 293 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Not a bad day at the office.
And most of them on the last 2 drives when they had to move in and go ahead, or they were beaten. They got the ball with 2 minutes and 1 second to go and went all the way for the touchdown, 68 yards.
I guess Alameda is still the house of miracles, huh?
The house of thrills. seconds. Hubbard hangs onto that ball. Now there's 3 seconds.
I'll tell you what, if this is an indication of what it is working with you guys during this American Football Conference, I'm just sure delighted to be here. We got something to look forward to, haven't we?
Oh, these are young teams.
We'll be out here next week, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like that way. Either Pittsburgh or Buffalo. And listen, the Raiders had better be careful, too. They were up high to beat Miami, and both Pittsburgh and Buffalo are
Those clubs are good. They sure are.
The winner of that game is sitting in a good spot, I think, psychologically. Third down. 2-1. Roll over. Miami is dethroned as the Super Bowl champ. The Oakland Raiders, wrestling comeback. Johnny Mann getting by the first hurdle. Still has another one to go.
Good game.
Off the quarterback. They beat the world champ. They beat a team that came back themselves, Miami, time and time again. You'll never see a better game than this one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you'll agree. Donna, now, I've never seen the game filled up like this one. You see a lot of these filled up, and they end up to be 40-0 bombs. Done. But this one was just the way it was advertised.
It really, truly was. Now, at the top of the show, we were talking about the 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
And neither of them, in my opinion, disappointed us all today because Saber did his thing well. I think Gracie played well. Zonka, again, came through as he has been doing for Miami for so long. But you see this kind of pandemonium break loose here in Oakland. These guys really do. They're having a great time out here.
Well, there's no doubt. We talked about pressure. We talked about execution. We talked about what the quarterback could do. Frankly, it was maybe the greatest football game I have ever seen. It was just incredible.
Well, I think they better stay tuned tomorrow because that Pittsburgh-Oakland group, Pittsburgh and Buffalo group, they're going to have another one out there.
That's going to be a beauty.
That'll be at 1 o'clock tomorrow on NBC.